2 green buckets. I'm going to throw them over the side, tie them to the end of the pole, and just as an experiment, see if it actually stops us from rolling.
We have 1 or 2 outboard issues, and I finally lose my mind.
Good evening, Mr. Bond. Let me introduce you to Ballpoint.
Our first beautiful morning on Ibiza. But to be honest, it was bittersweet. The outboard was once again giving us jip, and so we decided it was time to sneak onto a fisherman's pontoon to get supplies.
Okay, so we're not allowed to be here. We've snuck onto a pontoon behind a really strange looking catamaran. It looks like, well, I'll let you have a look and decide for yourself. Pretty cool, right? As long as no one cuts the lines, we should be okay. And we're just going to nip in, going to try and get ourselves a few supplies from the supermarket, and go from there. Okay, so I did it. I have gone and spent a very small fortune. We got so fed up with the Mariner, we bought a new one of them. They told me to go and get gas 4 to 5 minutes away. I thought it was 4 to 5 kilometers away, and I'm absolutely knackered now. So this, ¿Cómo te llamas?
Right.
Hey.
Right.
He's my new friend. He's decided to take this with me, save me carrying it. Hopefully I won't drop it in the water.
Armed with our new toy, it was time to start our mini adventure. San Antonio is on the northern side of the island, and with strong northerly forecast, we decided to head into the lee on the southern side for the next 24 hours, or until the wind changed direction.
I don't know if you can see that, but that is absolutely stunning. Sorry about my waving around. That is an absolutely stunning sailing boat. That is the kind of boat where you look at it and you think, that's what I could have won had I worked a little bit harder, or if I'd found the opium fields and decided to become a smuggler. Not that I'm suggesting for 1 second that the lucky sod that owns that beautiful, graceful thing is a drug smuggler in any way, shape or form. I'm sure he's probably not. I'm sure he's much more likely to be a media tycoon or an oil baron, or dare I say the dirty word, a banker. In fact, perhaps I should go over there and nick his flag, because I've given enough interest over the years to bankers. So, in my mind, if that is owned by a banker, then the man on that boat owes me at least his flag. I reckon I've bought more than his flag. I might have even bought, I don't know, maybe a deck chair? Maybe his anchor. That'd scupper him, wouldn't it? But went over there and took his anchor. Sorry, mate. I have decided to claim back some of that interest. I'm going to take your anchor. Actually, the anchor on that thing probably weighs 2 tons. But look at it, just cutting through the water. Stunning. I could just watch that all day.
There seems to be big boats everywhere. This one even had a slide, and its classic shape, along with my overactive imagination and its location next to an ominous looking island, made it look a lot like a scene from a James Bond film.
Good evening, Mr. Bond. Let me introduce you to Ballpoint. My trusty Ballpoint. Is that all I could come up with? There's a villain's name. The only villain's name I could come up with was Ballpoint.
That's crap.
Would you?
It's not even scary.
I know. Ah, Mr. Ballpoint. I will draw on you. I will draw all over you. Okay, so we've had a few palavers this morning. The wheel off Amanda's trolley broke. The wind vane has broken. It's giving me direction, it's not giving me speed. Obviously, we've had to buy a new outboard, which wasn't planned. But we've been rewarded with a good 15 to 20 knots of breeze, and she's clipping along, even towing the dinghy, which knocks off about a knot or so at 6.5. I'd like to say it was all worth it, but let's be honest, a bit of wind versus £2 grand, I don't think so. However staunch a sailor you are. But I'm going to enjoy it anyway. Like a nice little anchorage. There's a strange looking motorboat, that is. Okay, but about 5 more down. Okay, you want to undo the thing? Here's where it don't bloody go again. Just let it go for a minute first.
Sorry, let it go. Do not let us go.
I think it needs, it's funny, I think it needs warming up.
Yeah. Have a walk out of water.
Freedom! Freedom! Look at you. You're all wet. Are you all wet?
So, new outboard tested, bit of a disaster because we couldn't get it to start coming back after taking Millie out for a wee on its first voyage. So once again we had to row back, or paddle back rather, because the two of us take a paddle each, an oar each, row, paddle. So Mark's sod's law, as we got back to the boat, he started it and it started first time. So he's now giving it a little test. We do not like petrol outboards. I also don't like electric ones because our electric ones bust as well for the same reason. so we always end up paddling back. But anyway, let's see how this goes. See how the test ride's gone.
Need an extension arm.
How was it?
Yeah, I mean that's planing at a good 10-12 knots, right?
Okay.
I think I'm going to need to run it for a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the problem. So less grumpy now about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's a day of big problems. I would have filmed more of it if I had not been cursing and swearing and all that. So yesterday we bought a brand new Honda engine, as you have seen previously, and it just doesn't work. We followed the law, or the letter of the law, exactly. 15 minutes on tick over, then 45 minutes at 30%, but we've not got anywhere near 45 minutes. It's probably less than 15 minutes, 20 minutes time on it, and essentially it just doesn't like starting. And even if you do get it finally started, it will run, and when it runs it's great, but then you'll stop and then you won't be able to get it started again. And I just can't believe a brand new outboard would be just that bad. And I mean, I'll do a cut because I recorded it. It's we're on our way back. We've just left a beautiful, beautiful anchorage, and we're now on our way back to San Antonio where we bought it, just so that we could exchange it. Extremely frustrating. It's a bit of a grey day over the island, but not where we were. We'd found a perfect position. So frustrating, so frustrating. And on top of that, our brand new inverter is inverting fine, but it's a combi, so it should charge as well. And the charger's not detecting any AC input, so I've got to just check that I've wired everything up all right, but one problem at a time. And this is just boats. But the good news, I've actually managed to get our old Mariner 3.5 horsepower working. I took the carburettor apart and fluffed about with it. Although we've got a very pretty Turkish Juliet up on the port bow, or port stern in fact, which I will cut to now, so you don't see me pulling more of my hair out. Bye for now. So I took it back. What do you think happened? Well, let me tell you. I went to the shop. The man was just closing up for lunch, but he recognised me from yesterday and came and walked back to the boat with me. And first pull, started. Second pull, started. So I told him to tip it up. Tipped it up, put it back down. Third pull, started. These are on the first time. So then I went for a little blast around, and on the way back I pulled it up as I usually would. Fourth pull, started. Fifth pull, started. Started on idle, started, you know, with the choke on, started without the choke on. I look like a right twat. We have literally come back 30, nearly sort of 20 miles, 30 miles. And so we're going to try and use it again now. But what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's going to be okay? Or do you think it will suddenly start playing up again?
Bloody mechanics. Anyway, gonna leave me to stew. Drop in. Okay, so despite it working first time every single time for that guy, guess what's just happened? Well, I've just tried it, nothing. It hasn't worked at all. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to beat this out. Anyway, doesn't detract from the fact that we have found a spectacular spot. We've put a long line to shore. Take a look at this. There's the wanking engine. Wow. That is just a very, very cool place.
So, we took it back. And after 2 hours of mucking about, you would never believe what the problem was. Basically, the Honda motor needs to be exactly flat. Yep. How nuts is that? Tip it one click back and it won't start. Click it one click forwards and it won't start again. Just one position works. Then it starts every time. Totally unreal. But hey ho, at least we can finally get this bloody holiday started. Off to San Miguel we go. Finally, this was what we've been dreaming of. Great anchorage, coastal walks, and chilling in the summer breeze. Life could only be made better with a nice cold beer. Hang on a minute, isn't that a bar down there?
It's cold.
Pardon? €7. €7.
Thank you very much.
Are you going? Yeah. Great. It's good. Oh, Millie! Sit down. Sit. No. 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 Stop it. Seriously, stop it. Okay, stop it. Where's it gone? Okay, so we're in quite a rolly anchorage. We're protected from the wind over the next few days. A place called San Miguel on Ibiza, and this gives us the ideal opportunity to test what is it, a theory, or to test a method, I think is the word. I'm going to look like the biggest lunatic in the in the anchorage, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two green buckets. The colour obviously has no bearing on their effectiveness. I'm going to throw them over the side, tie them to the end of the pole, and just as an experiment see if it actually stops us from rolling backwards and forwards, because it is, when we come broadside like we just have to the waves, I don't know if you can see it in the background, we are rolling quite a lot.
Just a bit rolling ahead.
Okay, so these are the buckets. Let's see how they work. Okay. So the point is, we have two buckets sitting in the water that are full of water. They are connected to the boom, the end of the boom, like so. And as we roll, you'll just see they fill. So they're weightless when they're sitting in the water, putting no pressure on, but as soon as we roll to port, that goes tight, and the point is that it acts to counteract the swell. Now, the funny thing is, we might look like idiots, but we are rolling less than some of the other boats. So I actually think it might work. No, I think it does work. I think if you could create a bucket that was maybe capable of putting, say, a ton of water in, so in terms of volume, and make it specially reinforced, I think you'd have a decent product, because this definitely as a concept works. We're not quite as stable as a catamaran yet, but by God is it making a difference to the anchorage. A couple of green rubble buckets from Leroy Merlin is all it took. There's also something hugely bleak about the north side of an island. In some respects you could class it as more beautiful, it's greener, they've got pine forests behind us, and you won't find any marinas here on Ibiza. Always feels just a bit sinister, a little bit scary, and you see these small little callers, these little bays behind me, and you'll only see one boat, two boats at a time. At the moment we've got about 2 meters of swell. It won't look like that to the camera. Anything less than the perfect storm doesn't look like much on the camera. We're motor sailing at 8.6 knots, just not quite enough. But what we're doing is running away. In exactly 12 hours time, this bit of coastline that I'm on now is going to be racked with 35 to 45 knot winds, probably 5 to 7 meter seas according to my weather system, and it's going to look like a real foreboding place. So we're trying to run for shelter. We're running to the southwest side of the island, and hopefully that's going to give us a much better chance of having a decent night. A bit rolly last night. Settle down in the middle of the night, put my bucket system away. It worked to a point, but then you need 1 ton buckets. You need buckets that really weigh something, and 2, you need at least 2. You have to battle with the sound of the ropes going all bloody night, and frankly in the end we decided the lesser of 2 evils was the rolling, and we actually finally got some sleep. Anyway, Amanda's brought me up some breakfast, which is very nice. Some cracker beds with cheese on, because that's all we had to hand, and it's a bit rolly down there at the moment. So I'll talk to you a bit later once we get anchored. Bye for now.